Muscle memory isn't just for elite athletes. It's a powerful biological advantage that can help anyone return to fitness faster than expected. New research is shedding light on how our bodies bounce back, especially after long breaks. Guilty as charged. Joining us now is Nikki Ellis from the team at Cinch. It's wonderful to have you with us. Do our muscles really have memory, and how does this work? Will they remember the good times I had at the gym or just the pain?
That is such a great question. In a way, our muscles do have memory, although of course they can't think, they can't count our reps, so they can't tell jokes, all of that stuff. But what they do have is an epigenetic memory in a way. And what I mean by that is that it's like when you train, whether it's for putting on muscle mass or hypertrophy, or maybe it's just for strength or a combination of the two, you have little chemical tags that appear on your DNA that basically, if you imagine, say, hypertrophy or strength. So when you have a long break, Mike, and this is what's so exciting about this new research, 2025 research, when you go back to your training, your body does remember that in the past you had more muscle mass or you were a particular strength.
Interesting, very interesting. And cellular level stuff. You're mentioning
Yes.
DNA. This is a very sort of scientific topic. I should almost be wearing my lab coat. But is it true that women tend to bounce back faster even after a longer break? My partner will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, and what's really great about this research too is that in the past, most research in exercise science revolved around males.
Of course.
And particularly it was often college-aged males because they were easy to get as subjects. They might have been 18 to 21 years old. Doesn't really reflect where, say, your typical perimenopausal woman is. But this research did use a wide variety of subjects, including midlife women, and yes, they bounced back beautifully. And this is such great news for women in particular, because our lives can be really quite interrupted by things like pregnancy, having new babies, menopause, etc., etc. So yeah, it's great news for us midlife women.
I'm even now reflecting, I'm like, it's starting to make me feel like I could get back to the gym. It's like, it's not like a big slog. It's literally just that my body will remember once I just start getting through it. Get out of your own way. But why is this, I'm curious to know why this is so encouraging news for people returning to fitness, like myself. I do need to get back in there. But that word encouraging, I think, is an important one.
It is very encouraging. And, we often talk, I think, nowadays about thanking your past self for things that you might be experiencing now. I'm so grateful that I did my strength training because I might be having an illness right now and it's really serving me well. Thank you, past self. Same thing with this, that we can look back and go, all of that training you might have done as a teen, it's still going to serve you when you're 32, 33 and you've had a big long break from training. So it is extremely encouraging for people that if you have trained and you've stopped, you haven't thrown the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
You've done the work and that work will serve you when you go back. So don't feel like, it's pointless going back. It's not. You will get back to where you were and it will be much faster than the person training next to you who has never trained.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. There's now a psychological element that you're bringing into this as well, in a mental game. And it's reminding me of when I took some time off for burnout and whatnot, but I went for a 10K run. And, as a way of, I sort of forced myself, I was like, I've got to get back on track. And I was surprised I was able to do it. I was a little bit of a cross-country runner back in the day, but I'm picking up the pieces here. But let's talk a little bit about what advice you might give to someone who feels discouraged dealing with that mental blockage and actually getting through it. And again, it's a mental game, as we've now understood. Take us through.
I think the trick for any of us is to aim low. Start small, and that starting small might really just be, I'm going to aim to get to the gym once this week. I'm going to aim.
10K run actually ruined me, by the way.
I know, that's pretty full on. So I'm just going to start with a 10K run. For most of us, it might be, I'm going to try just a little walk around the block.
My legs should have done that. My knees. But yes, you're right. Do go on.
Yeah, so I think that's the big thing. Start small. go, aim for progression, absolutely, but don't aim for massive progression. And ideally, train with a trainer, train with somebody who can encourage you, inspire you, who you're accountable to, and who is going to pitch it just at that right level that you're not so sore that you can't move the next day, and that you actually are left wanting more as opposed to feeling like a broken down wreck.
Correct. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say. Nikki, if people want to connect with you and perhaps learn a little bit more about the work you're doing and perhaps pick your brain for some more ideas around this,
sure.
Where should we be sending our audience at home?
You know what? I'm prolific on Instagram. That's generally the best port of call because you can check out what we do, again, be inspired, and then when you're ready to connect, we are there.
I've seen some pretty high energy videos coming from that Instagram, so I appreciate you mentioning it. But Nikki, thank you. It's a pleasure to speak to you as always.
And thank you so much, Mike.